So just as an example, I want to look at this Facebook page that belongs to Prince EA. And what he's been able to accomplish is he essentially creates viral videos that are motivational, and he's also like a spoken word poet, which I think is really, really cool. But as much as this content is obviously a contributor to him having this incredible reach and reaching millions of people around the world and all these videos getting so many views, I believe that a big part of his success, or at least a critical part of it, is the copy that goes into these videos. So let's just for fun take a look at this and kind of break down a little bit of like what's working in each of these headlines. So immediately you can see that the very first one here and the second one, this is who you are. So first of all, he really has his target audience in mind as he's thinking about what headline he's going to write. The people that follow him are generally people that want to know more about who they are, which sounds very basic, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of people trying to find their passion in life. There's a lot of people trying to find their purpose. And he's got a little subheadline that says, every human being on earth should watch this. Again, he's casting a very wide net, which is not really typically what you see in the beginning, but because he has such a wide reach now, he knows that in order to create virality, he wants to get people sharing. And if he says this is for everybody, people will share. Now, here's another theme that we've got going on. The next 3 videos in a row have the word before as the very first word. Super interesting. And if you've noticed lately on social media in general, this is a headline style that is working really well. And I believe this will be evergreen to a certain point. But keep in mind, headlines do come and go. Things that work now may not work tomorrow because it will be overly saturated. People will have seen it too much. But this headline with the word before at the very beginning is really powerful because it essentially, think about what this does. It forces you to pause. You immediately are like, wait, I was gonna go take action. I was gonna go do something. And then as soon as you see the word before, you go, oh, well, before I scroll, before I leave Facebook, before I do whatever, I should probably watch this. So in this case, before you break up is the headline, right? Or before you write that angry post. What is he really doing here? He's helping his audience that he knows is fed up with so many things in their lives. For example, the angry post comment, right? He knows that there are people in his audience that are doing this, and he's trying to help them, obviously, in a genuine way. He came up with the content first, most likely, but then said, what is a way that I can actually reach these people? So he came up with before you write that angry post. And that immediately tells you, you know what? I'm probably going to write an angry post today. I'm probably going to leave a little hate comment and troll somebody on YouTube, so I should probably listen or watch this video to see what I can get out of it. And then the next one, before you get married. You'll notice a theme of relationships here. Before you break up, before you get married. So clearly he knows that relationships are a benefit that he wants to educate his audience on. So again here we have another one with the word before. Before you chase money, watch this, right? And now this one has the kind of phrase, watch this, thrown in. So what I really like about these is that they have the action that they want the person to take included in the actual subject line, or rather the title. I've also tried this a lot with email. It'll say something like, before you go to school, open this email. Or, going live today, open this email, or read now. You tell them the action that you want them to take so that they have no choice, because people just need to be told, what's next? What do I actually do? What do you want me to do with this? Which I find absolutely fascinating. This next one here, to my future child, I'm sorry. That one has this element of curiosity to it, right? It's like, what do you mean you're sorry to your future child? It's very thought-provoking, and it just has this like curiosity element in it. It's just a little bit weird, right? It's like, I have to know what he's talking about here. Something that I've seen done a lot on social media lately, maybe overdone, but especially on vlogs, is putting the headline in all caps. So as you can see here in this one, man versus earth in all caps. And so I think this is also a tool that you can have where when you really want to get someone's attention, maybe you don't do this every single video, and this definitely doesn't work for, professional copy on certain types of pages, but it seems to really be working in social media, and vlogging and things like that. So consider throwing an all caps title out there when you really want someone to click, and maybe even consider throwing an all lowercase title. Again, these are weird little triggers that just get people thinking like that's different. So right now, if you're seeing a lot of all caps, maybe try the lowercase, all lowercase, don't title case things. But also be careful to still stay professional and use title case in good situations where you need to present like something professional to your audience. This is more like these types of hacks that are easy to do on social media because it's more casual, right? It's okay to use lowercase or uppercase on social media. So why I stopped masturbating? No idea what that means. It's in all caps, really curious, kind of provocative, actually very provocative, because he's obviously alluding to something that half the population does. And so you immediately want to know what he's talking about. And this is an example of a headline that hits on multiple things. He begins with the word why, which is always a great way to start, how or why. He's got the whole thing in all caps, and he's using a word that has an innuendo to it, right? And it's provocative. So we also want to know what this word means the way he's using it, masturbating. So we immediately have to click. And then finally, a headline that I think is honestly really cool here, 10 reasons Forrest Gump was really a genius. So if you think back to our lesson before on like really how to open up with people, this is an example of taking something that people know about already. Most people have seen the movie Forrest Gump, right? And in the movie Forrest Gump, he is not a genius. He is not intelligent. He is the opposite of that. So this is him introducing a different way of thinking about something, right? He is taking the status quo and he's saying, let me tell you something that you don't actually know. He's actually a genius. And so you immediately are provoked and you have to click. You have to find out why Forrest Gump was a genius. And he begins with the number 10. The number 10 is very powerful. It's a great way to give people a framework of what you're going to be doing, right? And you're showing them that there's structure involved in what you're about to present to them. All right, let's do our action for this lesson and make it all real. So there's a worksheet below that I want you to download. It's got 3 columns in it, and you're basically going to be doing a headline exercise. Now, this exercise is going to have a little more structure than the first time you did this. So definitely do it again because it's only going to benefit you and you're only going to get better at this whole process of creating headlines. So for the first phase, sit down and start writing a headline. Write headlines until you hit 25 of them. And I want you to imagine you're writing headlines for the purpose of Facebook ads for your product or service or software or app, whatever it is, right? 25 headlines that are going to go into a Facebook ad that need to get people's attention, to get them to click, to lead them to your offer. So this is a super powerful exercise because you'll probably be able to take one of these headlines that ends up being the winner and use it today in your business. So start writing 25 headlines. It's going to be a little tiring, but keep pushing through. If you get stuck, maybe jump up and do some jumping jacks, do some push-ups, get your body moving. It's important to be in a really good state for this because you're trying to be creative, right? So your state, your physiology is really important. You don't want to be slunched down and thinking about, oh, how do I do these headlines? Get into a good positive state anytime you're writing copy. This is now me being the copy coach here, but it's really important. So after you bust out those 25, take a quick break, 3 to 5 minutes, come back with fresh eyes and look at your list and decide what are the 2 or 3 best headlines on your list. Just pull those out, pluck them out, and then put them next to each other. And now I want you to move on to phase 2. In phase 2, you're going to write 10 more headlines based on these favorite 2 to 3 of yours. So all we're doing is we're literally just improving incrementally a little bit more each time we write a headline, right? Just like last time, every headline you write should be a little bit better than the last. But now what you've done is you're doing this in rounds. So you're taking the first 2 to 3 and you're improving upon those by writing 10 more. So maybe you go in different directions based on these 2 to 3, or maybe they're all in the same direction, but you're just improving them a little bit more at a time. Choose different power words, choose different psychological triggers, try numbers, try the word how, maybe go all caps, lowercase, whatever it is that's going to get the attention of your customer.